Good evening. Welcome to Travis for the People. We back on this evening, just like I promised you. Go tell somebody that Travis is back on. Tell the Lincolnville community he's only about to share more information on what's happening in Lincolnville. Again, this is Travis for the People for real change, real solution, and real result. So let's get into this lesson on today, this information that will help and empower you. By the way, before we get into this lesson on today, this episode about what's happening in Lincolnville, what is the Planning Commission purpose in South Carolina? We're going to talk about it because there's a lot of misnomer out here, a lot of untold things, and we're going to go in and reveal the process of the Planning Commission, understand what's going on. We're going to talk about what had happened and while myself and others were on the planning commission that kept us or tried to kept us from initiating that comprehensive plan that was way past due and overdue. We in the 11th year of that comprehensive plan that should have been already done since last year. Supposed to have been up revised within the 5 years of the 10 years, which should have been revised in 2020. It was failed by the past Mayor Dewberry to begin the revision at that time. And then when Dickinson came in 2021, he should have leave on begin to prepare the planning commission and tell them that listen, let's get ready and start do our update of the planning commission, which because we are behind the 8 ball. This is why the developers come in here so easily because our comprehensive plan have yet not been installed in the in the Lincolnville community. We don't have a comprehensive plan other than the 2015 that's in place 11 years ago. So therefore, with the comprehensive plan, without the comprehensive plan, you can't update the ordinance that been changed, that needs to be changed from 10 years ago until now, because things have changed within a decade. And we know those changes have taken place because of the growth of the town and growth around the town. So therefore, we need to come in and revamp what we have already have and making sure that we are up to date and current on what we need to be done. And outside that whole ordeal of doing a comprehensive plan, we have not yet got into updating the ordinance, but we have to do the capital improvement plan. We have to also in the capital improvement plan. We also have to do the land uses workshop, the land that Lingerville have and what we can use of a division that we had all those things going on this year. And I just believe a lot of stuff was delayed because they trying their best to get this 400 homes in Lingerville, which the planning commission we had passing through and now is on the council to pass it or not to pass it. And the sad thing about it, because we didn't have our stuff updated, we didn't have this updated, but yet we do realize there was shenanigans and tomfoolery was going on with the capital improvement plan, with the comprehensive plan, and not even getting a new ordinance, or they approved the capital improvement plan, which they did not told us correctly the process of how to do things. And I think they went backwards because they tried to get money set aside or some type of agreement that do backdoor and stuff. And then also I'm the chairman of the planning commission. We do have a vice chair, we have a secretary, and there's about another 3 other us on the planning commission. We do need one more person to make a 7 so we can have a odd number. So anybody that's in Lincolnville that want to be a part of the planning commission, please come on and apply, and so we can get you on board, and so be a part of how the planning commission touch every aspect of the community, every aspect. That's why you have to have the comprehensive plan and the capital improvement plan and updating that ordinance. Now you can't update the ordinance without a new comprehensive plan. Again, the comprehensive plan have not yet been in place We supposed to be approving it on this coming meeting, which is I believe is June the 8th, on this coming meeting at 7 o'clock, right here in Lincolnville. So we're going to look at all of this stuff and then get this ball moving. This stuff should have been already done couple of months ago, but yet they try to make them confused. No, it wasn't this and that. But you know, people lie on everything, and that's what they do. And but we as being who we are not going to let them just go by and just do anything. But again, I want you to know we are in voting season now. We must vote. We are in the primaries. The last day to early vote is on June the 5th, this Friday from 8:30 to 5. Find out wherever your location is. Those in the Charleston County is down there in North Charleston behind the sheriff's office over there off, I think it's off Corporate Road or whatever, where you need to go vote at the voter education voter commission office. So please get out there and vote as early as possible. If not, you will have a chance to vote on June the 9th from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. right here in the town of Lincolnville. So we need to understand that we need to get out and vote. And because all of this voter oppression, all of this redistricting going through the South doesn't make any sense. They're just trying to just kill all the black vote and kill all the black representation. Can't kill the black vote because all we do have to do is go out and vote, which we did. And that's why Congressman Jim Clyburn, James Clyburn, they call him Jim, but James Clyburn still have his district. And we thank the voters of South Carolina who went out and say, no, 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 we're going to stop it. And if we do the same thing in the primaries and do it in November, we can have an opportunity to pick up some seats so we can kill the super majority of Republican control in this state. And we got to do this. We got to get out and vote. So let's bring us to this episode here. What's happening in Lincolnville? What is the Planning Commission purpose in South Carolina? And we're going to talk about it. The Planning Commission in South Carolina plays an important role in guiding how a community grows and develops. You know, right now, because our mayor is the strong arm mayor, and there's a lot of stuff that I'm going to talk about how he can sidestep along with his zoning department, sidestep and trying to be smart about not informing the planning commission, because the planning commission is an independent body, extension of residents of the town that volunteer to serve on the planning commission to help continue to do what? To help make decisions on land uses, zoning, development, and long-term planning of the town. We serve as advisory committee to the town council and the mayor. So they can, even though we may suggest or recommend to the council, but it ultimately is the council and the mayor decision whether they approve any recommendation that come from the planning commission. But yet we have a voice. And now, as we go on and talk more about how the planning commission, we know that the Dickerson camp had said some stupidest stuff online, and now I'm going to address all this policy out there since April the 15th so we can understand. There's no complete, no comprehensive understanding about the planning commission duty. Even the planning commission didn't fully understand the responsibility, accountability, and powers that the PC have. We now do. And when we first come in, we were very green. We were very novice at what we were doing. But now we understand more and more how to work as a commission for the best, for the benefit of the people. And now you do have some people trying not to let us know what things go on in town, mainly from the mayor office and his employees. They don't like to let us know. They want to be transparent. And you know, you got the zoning man gets up in the town meeting, have this little anger outburst. He really need anger management control, tell me the truth. But nevertheless, and it's just that when people ask questions, they don't need to get upset. Just answer the question and go on. Then you want everything to go through you because you sit in there at the zoning department. Well, everything can come to you because you may have the experience in that, and you can give us all this bio of who you are, but that does not mean that you the only one can investigate and look up stuff and understand. We can call the South Carolina Plan Multiple Association and ask questions. We don't have to necessarily go for you. And by the way, there are some things out there when people do come to the zoning department for answers, they don't always get that answer. So therefore, there's some other stuff that I'm going to reveal later on what's going on and how these shenanigans go along when it concerns the residents of the town of Lincolnville. So, therefore, the Planning Commission touches every aspect of the government's safety, infrastructure, the development, even necessity, the necessity essential that the town need in the present and the future. Here we go. I read in this post in that way, since the Dickinson camp are eating well today, please tell why, how this neglected and semi overlooked the last 4 years while the mayor previous year 4 years was in office. He did not even try to update the comprehensive plan. He was no aware of that. And I got receipts to prove what I say. He didn't want to do it. And our then why wouldn't you want a comprehensive plan? Why you didn't want it updated? Why didn't you want to understand the land usage in town? Why wouldn't you want the ordinance to be updated to where we are? And that's a good question. I don't know why. Maybe y'all need to ask him. Maybe y'all need to ask how he has been on council for so many years before, man, knowing that every 10 years they got to be an update of the comprehensive plan. And why Tyrone was the mayor, he was there. Why Dewberry was the mayor, he was there. So he should know already what to do as an executive of the town of Lincolnville. Clearly, it seems to me, this is my perspective and my view, that some of this was what? It was meant to happen. Some of this was truly been done out of, I'm not even going to address it because I'm going to try to get certain things in on my behalf or whatever the case may be. Didn't care at all whether this comprehensive plan did came into existence. So I'm going to expose the truth. Looking at the Planning Commission for A to Z style overview of the purpose and the function of the Planning Commission in South Carolina. Let's look at it. What we supposed to do, advisory role. Again, like I said before, we serve as advisory role to the governmental body, the city or the county or the town council. We advise them to make the changes of the development plans or zoning change and land uses. So it ain't up to the zoning man like you get it's all up to me. I do this. No, is we the one recommend those changes. He the one supposed to be there working alongside with the planning commission, helping to make the right decision. But ultimately, it is the planning commission to do the due diligence of study and research and then asking the questions where he come and advise us and making sure we understanding the law, but yet at the same time we can look up these things ourselves as well. But at the same time, that's what he therefore is supposed to help work along with the planning commission, not work against it. But some people work with you because they only working at the discretion of the mayor. So therefore, I gonna do what I needed to do to make sure I maybe keep my job or stay in good grace with the mayor and so forth. But I'm not. I'm just saying this is my perspective and nobody else. So therefore, the balanced growth also is supposed to balance the growth. They help ensure the balance of residential, commercial, and industry development within the community. We do not have a lot of commercial you building a commercial stores, restaurants, businesses in the town of Lincoln, which we should have. West Broad Street supposed to have been a commercial, supposed to be zoned for commercial, but somebody in the last administration sneaked through and put those houses there. That's why them houses that come in on West Broad Street going towards the town hall, right there on the right, ain't supposed to be there, but someone went in there and changed it. And now that's supposed to be a commercial street going down where we could have put some businesses there, where we could have put some barbershop, hairdresser, even a grocery center, a small shopping strip there. So generate some tax breaks in there because 6% of wherever the revenue the business get 3% of that go back into the town. So you don't really have a tax base. That's why they say we got to build up the residential to get that one-time tap fee money, that one-time capital improvement money, and whatever the case may be. That's it. Once that money goes, it's gold. But at the same time, that's why we need to have a balance between residential, commercial, and industrial business if we can have that in the town of Lincolnville. That's why annexation should have been going on throughout all the administration. And so we can have all the land so we can have a broader scope on how to develop the town of Lincolnville. We could have had a commercial side on one side, residential in this area. You can have more in the industrial one side, but because there was no foresight, there was no vision. You had people on the council and in the mayor office did not see what's already here. They know the development was around, Lincolnville was growing, but yet they were not trying to grow with development, not understand the importance of that growth. And the comprehensive plan was created to maintain a comprehensive plan, which is the long range vision on how the community will grow. Again, 2015 was the last comprehensive plan, and ordinance was updated. So we under old ordinance and comprehensive plan. Don't be fooled by those in the administrator. Oh, we got the comprehensive plan. No, it have not yet been approved by council yet. So we therefore is still under the old comprehensive plan and yet in ordinance, and then we still have to update the ordinance. So we ain't even start that process yet. The comprehensive development review is D. The comprehensive reviews the subdivision plan, site plan, and development purpose before they move forward. And it's funny how a certain portion of this they don't reveal all that goes in developing a town because the zoning man say I don't have to reveal everything. Yes, he's supposed to reveal everything and let us know as a commissioners what's going on in town. If we ask him a question, he should do that. But there's an administrator, which I'm going to bring back in the presentation. There's an administrative thing that he can do with South Carolina, gives him that right to do that. Certain things he can approve without even coming to the planning commission. That's why when you see certain developer, new residential pop up around here, and he that did never come to the planning commission, even we don't know. We don't even get the consideration. Let them know. You know, me give y'all a heads up. This going on, this gonna be developed. You're gonna see that we don't even get those heads up. They're like this is like they don't want to talk with the planning commission. I think it's targeted at Pacific people or whatever, but at the same time, we finally got a functional planning commission that actually is there, want to do the work for the town of Lincolnville. But yet the administration, because they don't like being called out on their stuff, they'll get upset and then they revert to doing some shenanigans. The PC can even negotiate with developers based on the comprehensive plan suggested the developer, the zoning department, and the mayor have a pre-meeting without the planning commission. I want to change this. The planning commission want to change this. I think before any developers can, everybody should be sitting at the table. The planning commission members or the vice president or whoever, every part should represent in the preliminary meeting. But how it goes now, they meet with the mayor and the zoning department, and we don't even know when they meet. We don't know what they discuss. The mayor could have probably already done cut a deal or whatever. The zoning department know what's going on, but they don't want to say anything. But nevertheless, but in our experience, based on that, that's what was going on. The shenanigan, the tomfoolery. So there was a fight to structure the planning commission in the right direction. Thursday, May 9th, 2024, email Mayor Dickinson administration. Mr. Blank, seems like you were frustrated and education not going to work well with you on this zoning board. If you don't take a better approach in your bold suggestion and choice of words, I do understand your concerns, but your concerns are going to be recognized in a more appropriate way or not at all. Or our zoning board will never have this kind of behavior, and we are not going to start with having this kind of outburst now. And this is the volunteer board is open for volunteers to come and leave and have no hard feeling. Again, thank you for everyone doing a great job with the zoning board. This was the past chairman was coming to me because he was upset because we are addressing issues that was concerned when we used to get in these meetings. Stuff was already had been already passed, already agreed, rubber stamp. There's a past zoning members got off the board because know why? Because stuff is already approved. It seemed like everything was rubber stamped, and that's not how it was supposed to go. Because when you start calling them out on their crookedness, now they got upset and they want to tell you shouldn't belong on this board. And this was a response to that chairperson, Mr. So thank you for your response in such a way, but your interpretation is misguided. If you was concerned about implementing the process adhering to the zoning regulation as chairing the board like you should, the board will not be behind with its sworn duties. Let us correct your malpractice. The chairperson should conduct and lead the committee. You do not. The chairperson should be willing to make time and sacrifice for the betterment of the board and community, which you said in May 7th meeting you would do not, and you did not have time. Chairperson is supposed to set and prepare the agenda with the committee and not allow the zoning administrator, who is the employee of the town and not a committee member, to do all the work of the chairperson. The chairperson is to be impartial, not partial to the zoning administrator and developers, but have the best interests of the community. The chairperson should not avoid his job, which you are happily willing to delegate and navigate to someone, so you do not have to take responsibility and accountability for neglecting your duties as chairman. In closing, I am frustrated and bothered by the lackluster of your inability and irresponsibility, nonchalant attitude you take toward this vital committee for our community. You strike me as a CINO, chairman in name only. It seems to me you and the zoning man at that time, Mr. Jeff, maybe others are not concerned of seeing and gentrification that is taking place in our community. This lack of luster, nonchalant disposition of unconcerned board chairperson and member of the community that loses its richness and culture due to the allowing of developers to have their way. You were eager to approve a drawing and picture of blueprint without seeing the comprehensive plan of the said project along with Jeff at that time, the developer. Maybe this is the reason why you have stepped up and lead the committee to revise the 10-year zoning plan. Newsflash, Mr. So and so, I'm here to stay, and the majority of the board are in agreement with the prosperity of the pressuring situation that must be addressed. My grandfather said, you throw that brook in the group of a pack of dogs, the first dog you hit will holler. In this case, two dogs are barking. Instead of you fighting and barking for the cause of the community, you are trying to cover up your malpractice. Your observation is noted. This is the fight that we had on the planning commission. And this was a shame. It was a debacle. It was malpractice. And people from the Dickinson camp want to come at us in such a way. You don't know the struggle. You don't know what is going on. And this was happening under Mayor Dickinson administration. So why you fuss with me? You need to go fuss with the mayor. Dickinson camp does not know the struggle of the past, and all they know is what is taking place right now. A fight to structure the planning commission in the right direction. These are some of the people saved from the Dickinson camp, and they came to say, well, all this stuff they were saying that the Dickinson forced all the developers to pay millions to build new homes in Lingerville. Again, I want to know where this millions of dollars at. Because if we have a whole lot of millions of dollars coming from developers in this town of Lingerville, then there should be no problem fixing the water infrastructure. It should be no problem putting on sidewalks and lightings and up the street if there was millions of dollars. This is the camp of the Dickinson. They're saying they having all this talk about and all this money that was coming in from the mayor. Where is it? Because I have the budget. I don't see it in there. If it's in there, is somebody hiding it? Or what's going on? So here, the question that is asked, Mayor Dixon received millions of dollars from the developer. What is the exact amount? Who the developers gave the money to? Where's the money? When did he receive it? We haven't had money used to fix our crumbling water infrastructure. How are we as a town going to move forward with transparency and communication with our current and future project? Where is the money? We need to know, since we are trying on the planning commission, trying to institute what is our sworn duty is. We here's the other process that we supposed to do as planning commission. We supposed to be environmental protectionists. We supposed to protect the natural resource, the wetland, the flood zones, and the green space. That's what the land usage workshop for, to protect. We did went through that and didn't devise some things. There is a stream of water running through Linkable, which is the Ashley River. Those things need to be protected. Those wetlands and stuff need to be protected. But yet we rushing in developers in there and not understanding that you destroying an ecosystem that has been there for a long time, that we could protect, that maybe protect it soon, put up parks or walking trails along those areas, and where people can enjoy the rich culture and the naturalness of Lincolnville. But they're not thinking on that plane. They're not thinking it in that type of light. And the future land use, again, we talk about that growth management. We talk about the community managing the population growth and the infrastructure demand that was poorly misdone, poorly overlooked. It was such a debacle. And that's on council and on the mayor office, not just this mayor, the past mayor and the mayors before. Because we did that in a presentation earlier, how all this pressure was well known, all this development was well known way before 3 or 4 or 5 mayors down the road. But the councils and the mayor at that time didn't have the foresight nor the vision to see what was coming. They know it was coming, but they couldn't see it, nor they was not trying to do anything because we're trying to keep Lincolnville as the same old Lincolnville. Everything changes, and you got to prepare to change. You got to adapt and you got to adjust. Housing planning. You plans that affordable. I don't even talk about the housing because we got that neighborhood over there, that apartment complex, Magnolia Bay. It is atrocious how certain part of the balconies, people can't get on their balconies. I went on there and talked to people during going in trying to talk to them about voting and about them registering to vote, about voting in the last election for the mayor, and they are highly upset. The community over there say we don't even see them until it's time to vote. It's like no one even care about them over there. They don't even, the zoning man need to go over there and look at how they can shout some of that stuff where you can't do anything. They always say they can't do something. Something can be done to make sure the residents of Lincolnville are in a safe environment. Infrastructure coordination, the planning commission consider how the roads and the water, the sewer, the schools, utilities will support new development. Other words, I don't know whether we can get a school here. Well, we sure can get a post office. We sure can get a library. We can sure get some other things, a gas station, not only just a gas station, but a gas station with a restaurant, and we can get a Dollar General. We can get a Family Dollar. I already done talked to people in smaller towns that got Family Dollar and Dollar Generals in here. It is come. They can do it if the council have any fortitude or any intestinal power or a vision to make some things happen. We always say you can't because there are a lot of older people on council that needs to just go sit down and let some younger people. That's why I encourage younger people come up, step up. It's your time. It's your place now. Go ahead and run it in the next election coming. Be a part of me. Get on the panic committee. Get on the zoning appeals committee. We need you. We need you. We need you. Because if not, we're gonna be run with an old mindset in the 21st century. You can't run a town in a 19th century mindset, and we are in the 21st century. Joint planning, again, it's supposed to be joint planning. Sometimes to coordinate planning between the neighborhood municipalities, counties. We should be, the planning commission actually need to be meeting with Somerville Planning Commission, Charleston County Planning Commission, other towns of our size to understand how you addressing growth? How are you dealing with the infrastructure issue? How are you dealing with the wet zones and the wetlands and the flood zone and the green spaces? That's stuff that is vital. Now that we know, we want to start trying to do these things while we are there so we can continue to help Lincolnville be better. Again, we supposed to be knowledge and research. And this was a lot of people don't like people to research them behind them. Well, I tell you the truth and seem like you go behind me. Yeah, I supposed to go behind you. The committee supposed to go behind anybody that give us something so we will make sure the information that we are given that is actually correct. You supposed to verify. You was ask question and verify. Verify first. I heard that someone said that before. The land usage regulation, yes, we got to understand how to use the land for the best betterment. That's what the planning commission do. Map preservation, we got updated of the maps, and now we under this moratorium. Even though we see things building in the town, people are clearing out stuff and all that, all of a sudden, and the first thing they're going to say, well, oh, they already been approved before the moratorium. Now we are going to be calling for that proof. They got to back up that application with dates and before the moratorium was put on, and then making sure that that is factual and true, because people can tell you everything, but yet if that's the case, they should be willing to give the information so it won't be a look of impropriety, something fishy going on, some underhanded stuff. Well, they should come forward with that information, but you gotta act. And when you ask for stuff and you FOIA them, they don't even give you the information. Neighborhood protection, and now they got a we have a neighborhood watch now, which we do need, and there's some people can need to join that, and I hope and pray in the town council meeting they need to stop revealing who on the streets of neighborhood watch people, because you're putting people in danger. They should not know who the neighborhood watch person is on that street. They should not be knowing that. You put a target on people back, and they'll get up there and say stuff. That's why people don't want to be involved, because some people don't know how to use discretion. They don't know how to use their common sense. And I realize, and the more older I get, common sense, it just ain't common. Audience and recommendation. Planning Commission review and recommend zoning and land development audience. They are public participation. We got to have the public involved along every step. So when you see the notices coming in your water bill, when you see that coming on the website, when you come and see that on that sign out there, you need to come and be a part and put input, because we need to hear your voice. We need to hear your concern. We need to hear your ideas, because what? We are in this town together. And the planning commission in South Carolina is the quality of life, improve the safety, accessibility, the economy growth, and the community livability. That's important. Again, we need the annexation back. We need that police annexation back. It made no sense to have it not here. We need it back. We need more presence of police, because all of the speeding is going on Dunmire Road and Lincolnville Avenue. It is getting overcrowded. So we need presence of the police here. We need them to have a station to go to right here. Rezoning review. They need to evaluate the rezoning request. I mean, that's what the zoning appeal is for. Subdivision approval. The planning commission reviews subdivision layouts of streets, utilities, and lot design. And here we go. Now they're gonna say I take administrative authority, and I go ahead and it didn't have to come to the planning commission. But this right here telling us, then they're gonna say it's what's in the ordinance. And that's why we're gonna change some of the stuff in the ordinance, because I believe if we are going to be advisor on subdivision layouts of streets and utilities and lot design, it should either number one come straight to the planning commission for approval, or number two, the planning zoning committee should just make the planning commission known of what's going on. Okay, yes, you have to have visibility. He or she have to have visibility to make an administrative a decision. But yet at the same time, it should be known to that committee, since that's their purview, that this is going on. Transportation planning, they evaluate traffic impact. Now, this is important. We got to realize that the Planning Commission, we are going to try to implement that there's a traffic study must be done prior to any development coming into town. They're supposed to bring that information to us. It's right here. Fourth, the urban and rural planning. They have planning both the urban growth and the preservation of rural areas. And V is vision for the community. The long-term vision developed over 10 to 20 years. That's what the 10-year comprehensive plan update is about, to see where the town could go in the future. And every 5 years between the 10 years, it should be revised. Then it deal with workforce and economic development. We mean attract businesses and jobs, and we have no businesses coming except for one little store there. We have someone down there. The Mexican have something. The Hispanic and the Mexican, they have their food truck. I guess that's where they park their food trucks and they come those and go out and do their businesses. But at the same time, we have no businesses. We need businesses to help with the tax rate, to give the tax people rate, so people won't be hacking up the water bill to get more money. Because that's the functional money that comes in now through the water department. Okay? So therefore, that's why we need more businesses. We need more things. We need a rec center. We need more stuff like that. We need a post office. We need a parking recreation services. We need a visitation center or something like that. We need something that will attract people and attract revenue dollars. We need a pub, restaurant. We need something that will attract more people here and the town people to come in and patronize the business right here in Lincolnville. And also that create jobs. Expansion of management. They monitor and guide city and county expansion is in an orderly and sustainable way. The Planning Commission has power. It has a lot, and it touches every aspect. Yeah, here planning, more comprehensive plan guide development 10 to 20 years into the future. That's why you got to continue to stay up on it. Zoning recommendation. The planning commission make recommendation on the zoning laws and zoning changes, but the final approval usually rests with the elected official. Legal authority in the South Carolina. The Commanding Commission operates under the South Carolina Planning Enablement Act found in Title VI, Chapter 29 of the South Carolina Code of Law. The law allows counties, multiple municipalities to establish planning commission and give them authority to guide land development. We have the authority to guide by the South Carolina the land of development. The Mayor Dickinson didn't initiate contact with the COG of Berkeley, Charleston, Dorchester Council of Government. No, he did not. He did not. The Planning Commission did. Mayor Dixon had a rough 4 years. We got to give him that. They were some funny bunch of squirrels, but still, he did not initiate that. The Planning Commission initiated. The Planning Commission went to him and tell him that we need to start the comprehensive plan. We need to begin to formulate a capital improvement plan and hopefully updating the ordinance that comes with along with updating the comprehensive plan. And here is the proof. On December the 4th, 2024. Good afternoon. We thank you for the opportunity to provide proposed scope of preparing a 10-year comprehensive plan. This is the COG talking. Based on discussion with the planning committee earlier in November of 2024. The draft scope includes the following specific types of public engagement: paper, online surveys to solicit public input on the vision, the goals, and priorities of the town. A joint town council and planning commission work to review the public input from survey and determine the appropriate goals and action. If you would like to discuss or have any question, any other potential revision, please feel free to contact me. If there's no changing, I will finalize an internal and provide a final copy along with a contract for your signature. Thank you, and I look forward to hearing from you. So he did not initiate this. He can take the credit for it now, but he did not initiate it, and that begged the question: why didn't he? How did we got to this so far down the road and his administration, we still haven't have a comprehensive plan approved yet. We still didn't have an updated plan approved, update of ordinance approved yet. We got a capital improvement and they made sure they approved that first. But at the same time, I don't know for sure in the planning commission though, and that's why we got still studying. A lot of that stuff is really went out of bound audience, out of order. But at the same time, this is where we are because they know we didn't know much of what we know now. Now we know, and we are going to hold them accountable. So just what happened in Lincolnville. This is what is the planning commission purpose in South Carolina or in the town of Lincolnville. We have our marching orders and we are not backing down. We are moving forward and it's going to be done the right way. If I have anything to do with it, and those that on the board, we have a functional committee. Everybody wants to do the right thing for the town of Lincolnville. The problem that we have, the lack of transparency, accountability, and responsibility. And sometimes people that are elected to positions are in power to do stuff. Sometimes they think everything is on them or they are in control and they do not like people challenging the system. And not challenges to be challenged, but challenges to make sure we doing what's right. Because at the end of the day, there's going to be a history leave on our watch. Did we done what we supposed to do as leaders, whatever position that we are? And these preachers around here needs to get on board and stop laughing and he and being friendship. But when it comes down water infrastructure repair, that affects everybody. When it comes down to sidewalks and streets, that affects everybody. When it comes down to lighting and proper safety and having an annex police station, that affects everybody. Having a functional equipment for our first responders, that affects everybody. That affects everybody. And we need to do a better job as being citizens and residents of this town. Ain't nothing wrong with holding people accountable. They may not like it, but still, we ain't in here for like. We in here to make sure that the safety and the concerns of the needs of the people of the town, of the residents, are met. Again, what good is the trumpet if you can't blow it? I could blow mine. I could blow my trumpet. Whether you like it or not, because it's my trumpet. It's my gift. It's my talent. It's my responsibility. It's my lot. It's my concern. It's my need. But if everybody blow their trumpet and for the purpose of helping everybody, ushering in a better day, ushering in a purpose that will fulfill everybody's need, ushering in a space where people can be safe and free to live in a community that is so rich in culture, so rich in history, so rich in so much natural resources. And if we develop this properly and do what we're supposed to do, we'll leave a legacy for our children, children, and children to come. That's why this what we about. Who cares about who get the credit? Whether they get the credit, you get the credit, I get credit, long as they get done. That's what I know about, long as they get done. That's why I do this, to engage the public, to encourage y'all, to show y'all, to reveal to y'all this stuff is real. Again, this is Travis for the people, for real change, real solution, and real results. Stay tuned for our next episode on Travis for the people. We're going again to do our 6-month report card of the town of Lincolnville, the mayor and the council, based on his initiatives. On his initiative, we're going to score them again. In some aspect, it's good, and some of it is still failing because there was promises that was told that have not been met yet. Again, stay tuned. This is Travis for the people. Real change, real solution, and real results.